Greetings, loyalists, heretics, xenos, and other sort of entities of Warhammer 40k. This is Arendalft. I am going to go ahead and watch the Dawn of War 3 narrated E3 mission playthrough. Since it's being narrated, and it's about 13 minutes long, I'm going to go ahead and just watch it and then give my reaction afterward. I'll go ahead and provide a link as well if you'd like to go and watch it yourself, which of course I would highly recommend since it won't be played during this video. And, well, I will see y'all in approximately 13 minutes. Toodles. Well, I just finished watching it. Initial reaction. Looks like it still could be good. But I'm not thrilled. I am not remotely. I don't have high hopes at all from what I've seen. Mind you, it's pre-alpha. It's still pretty early. But what I was hoping for from Dawn of War 3 was a class of game that would be, I don't know. It seems like Warhammer 40k, for those of us hoping for games in that area, we've been ripped off time and time again. And when StarCraft 2 first came out, amazing game in just about every single way. Loved it. And I've heard people try to compare Dawn of War 3 to StarCraft 2. I'm sorry, that's not an accurate comparison whatsoever. Because it doesn't look like it'll measure up, in my opinion, in any way. I mean, for that, it left me wanting. I watched it, and it honestly doesn't even look as... I mean, you're going to get that kind of wanting feeling every single time you just see one force dominating another purely, and you don't actually see any balanced action. And they admitted before they even started the trailer, well, started the playthrough of that mission, that the Eldar are unbalanced right now. In other words, they're just not as strong as they should be. They're apparently focusing strongly on getting the Space Marines up to par right now. I guess that's their main selling point, is the Space Marines. Even though Gabriel Angelos, every time he did his hammer smash, he hopped up like 10, 20 feet in the air. You cannot do that in Terminator armor. Period. I mean, maybe the Primarchs could do it, but their armor was personally customized to them, and for Terra Novian sakes, they were Primarchs. I'm sorry, that every time I saw Gabriel Angelus jump in the air like a freaking ballerina, I cringed. They also, from the screenshot they had of his face, you know, for his picture, he definitely doesn't look the way he used to, and he honestly looks like he's about to have a, well, he looks like he's nauseated. Oh, going through that, they tried to sell off some of the hero's abilities as intricate, as in when he did his hammer spin, it would also knock back enemy projectiles. While to a point, that's kind of interesting that they're tying in extra features that get in depth later in the game. That's not what they showed thus far. Not really that in depth whatsoever. Right now, the more I'm seeing of Dawn of War 3, the more my hopes are crashing. It's going down and down and down and down. And in the beginning of the trailer, they said, we got such a huge reaction, blah, 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 blah. The community manager said that. What's her bucket? But in any case, they're just saying that they got she said that they got this huge reaction. I'm wondering, well, yeah, the announcement trailer did look pretty sweet, but it shows nothing in the gameplay. When the gameplay actually came out, I had a semi-lukewarm positive reaction, and I heard a lot of feedback from people saying that actually it dims their hopes further. And then I just recently released a video about the comment of someone left on one of my videos saying that the game looks like a blend between StarCraft 2 and League of Legends. To say that it's compared to StarCraft 2 at all is flattering it so far. Truth be told, it is still pre-alpha. They're still figuring things out, and they're balancing out the game. And I'm hoping, no matter what, that, of course, it'll be a balanced game at the very least. But if this is a reflection of where they're going, I mean, I would have wanted real area. One of the things that was lacking from the first Dawn of War and the second was any kind of real air units. And Warhammer 40k, guess what, has a lot of awesome air units that can do a lot of really awesome things. And so far from Dawn of War 3, I am seeing a complete lack of that. In fact, it's from the entire trilogy. And that is something that I would love to see. And it's something that makes the game more intricate and in-depth, being able to just fly over terrain, drop off troops, if you have a transport, for that matter, just hit and run, strikes, whole 9 yards. It was one of the things that also made StarCraft 2 that much more interesting, not to mention StarCraft 1, which in my opinion is still a classic, and thus far still better than most of the other games out there right now in the RTS version. Well, as of right now, my excitement continues to dim about this game. I'm not feeling as enthusiastic about it, and my reactions are slowly starting to turn a little more negative. However, I refuse to completely give up hope. Call me a diehard, but I still think that either they're not showing everything that they're planning on more. It's going to be more in depth than what they're showing. I mean, it is still pre-alpha. They're going to be releasing it in an entire year. And I honestly wouldn't be remotely disappointed if when they got to near the release date, they said, sorry, we're pushing it back further, the release date. Because that would mean that they're adding more, that they're putting more depth and intricacy into it. Because, as I've said, from what I've seen thus far, I mean, if they were just strictly to build off of what they've shown here, it wouldn't be a game I'd be really interested in. I might buy it on heavy sale, but I would never buy it at full price. I mean, I'm assuming their full price will be $60 to $40, and both of those would be something I wouldn't be all that willing to pay for the caliber of game they're so far showing. But in any case, I'm hoping, though, that they haven't even begun to show the true depth of where they want to go with this. And I am still aiming towards that. I don't expect that. I actually expect that they're satisfied with where they're going, and that it's honestly going to be yet another extreme disappointment in the Warhammer 40k video game series. But I hope it is going to be something grand that finally we can celebrate and have an awesome game of our own in the Warhammer 40k series. Well, if anyone has any feedback, I'd actually love to hear from you in the comment section below. Just your thoughts, ideas, where you want this to go. What you liked about that trailer, what you didn't, etc. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. And if you really like this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. In any case, don't get into too much trouble, or do. It's always up to you. Toodles.